Hello. In this video, we are going to talk about communication with students and we'll give you a few tips. When you can't meet your students in person, establishing means of communication with the whole class for course-related and general matters and with individual students for personal matters will be very important. As we mentioned before, you can start with a simple email to the whole class if you don't use a learning management system, or with an announcement sent from an LMS. It will be very reassuring for your students to hear from you in order to feel confident that everything is under control under the circumstances and that they haven't missed any information. There are three things you want to consider and plan related to communication: transparency, frequency, and consistency. About transparency. For questions related to course content and activities, avoid responding to student individual emails. If you have other means of communication, even if you have a small class and think this is not too much work for you, students will quickly realize that you are responding to individual questions, and it can make students feel anxious and worry about the information they could be missing on. Whichever way of communication with the whole class you select, make sure that all students see your responses to all course-related questions. If you're using a discussion forum in an LMS, create one Ask Your Instructor or Ask Your Teacher forum that only you can respond to, so that students know that they are not missing on any information and that the information is coming from you. If you're using email for communication, instruct students to send questions only to you. Collect them once a day, respond to them, and then send an email with all questions and answers to the whole class. It will also reduce your work and will be extremely important for your student confidence. If you have a way to record and post a video, you can also respond to a list of questions in that way. About frequency. In a regular online course, we always suggest sending 2 messages a week. One is what we usually call Monday morning message, MMM, where you welcome your students to a new week, summarize past week's activities, and introduce what will happen that week. The second message usually comes midweek message, where you touch base with students midweek with a quick reflection on how the week is going. Remember that you can communicate with students either through asynchronous messages, such as emails, discussion posts, recorded video, or synchronously with some web conferencing tool. If such a tool is available to you and your students, you can organize online consultations or office hours at scheduled times and communicate with students in real time. However, if you have abruptly changed the mode of teaching, many students will likely feel isolated, confused, lost, and they will need more guidance than usual. Consider adding a morning message every workday, even if it is a quick, warm hello, an update on current events so that students know you are there for them and will help them live through the day. Keep in mind, there is such thing as too much communication. If you send students too many messages, they will stop paying attention to them, and expecting them all the time can cause anxiety. Also, try not to send messages and course updates late in the evening. Students need some rest and downtime at the end of the day, and they shouldn't expect that something important in the course is happening when they finally want to do something not related to school. About consistency. Whichever message frequency pattern you adopt, choose the one that works for you and you can maintain. Stay consistent. If your students get used to a daily morning message from you, they will expect it every morning, and if it doesn't arrive, they will be concerned. So if you think it is something you cannot maintain, stick with Monday morning message and midweek message and stay consistent. We will add one more thing. or a couple more things. Concurrency and empathy. It is completely okay to show your personality in your messages and to add a note about what is happening outside the class content if it is not too personal, but something students can relate to. Keep it minimal, but remind students that you are a human as well and that you are also going through challenges as they are. Building a sense of community and mutual respect and empathy will go a long way. Aside from your communication with the whole class and individual students, create a space where students can talk to each other in an informal way, a virtual social cafe for students. If it is in the form of a discussion forum, monitor the conversation so that it remains respectful and friendly. In challenging times, conversation can heat up. If that happens, you will have to intervene and maybe close the forum and address the situation. Finally, if you expect that there will be students who will enter your course after the course has already started, make sure you can help them. If you have a course page, create a block or a document new to the course at the top of the course and keep updating it. This is where your course plan will be so useful, as students will know what they have missed and need to do. Also, your Monday morning messages will provide a review of the course progress up to this point. In summary, your frequent, transparent, and consistent communication with students will be one of the most important factors that will influence your student confidence and motivation in the course. Establish ways of communication that you can realistically maintain so that students stay informed but not overwhelmed. Thank you.